Good morning, everybody. It's 3:30 or so. Sitting outside. Beautiful, beautiful full moon out tonight. All the bugs are active. Very peaceful, quiet. Hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful Sunday morning and a beautiful Sunday. Full moon. Full moon out tonight. Hello, everyone. Peaceful night down here in Kentucky. Cool out. Thought I'd come outside and sit a little while and look at the moon and listen to nature. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday morning. Oh, Brian. Hope you're having a beautiful Sunday morning down there. Such a peaceful night down here in Kentucky. It's quiet. Next weekend is going to be a long weekend. There's going to be a lot of tourists down through here. Campers and rock climbers. I have never seen anything around the farm here. They're about 20 some miles down the road when you get into the thick of the Daniel Boone National Forest down around the gorge where there ain't no houses and people. I've seen bobcats, bear come up in the yard down here. Then, you know, the neighbors' animals, cows, deer, horses. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me up in the Sierras, Brian. To get where I'm at, he'd have to cross a couple cattle ranches. But you go about 20 miles, a little further down to where the actual national park is, where the gorge itself is. It's pretty active down there. That's when the woods start to get really thick. And then it runs on down the Brake Interstate Park. That don't surprise me either. It's really been a peaceful summer for me up here, but I've been working a lot of hours, a lot of long hours. I haven't got to get out and play like I normally do. I find it enjoyable just to be able to sit outside and listen to nature, like tonight. You probably stand a better chance of hearing them than you would seeing one. Oh, you gotta love that, man. This is actually quite calm compared to what it normally is, but it's coming the end of the season too. I got a 4 day weekend coming up, so I hope to get out and do some exploring. I wouldn't mind getting out and doing a little bit of filming in the woods. Maybe take the boat out. There's going to be a lot of boats out this year. That's a mini vacation. It sure is for me. I know I'm ready for one. I'll be off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I'll go back to work Tuesday night actually. You got new videos out other than the ones you did before? I'll have to drop by and see those. Really haven't talked to you much in a while. Hope everything's going well for you. Now that would be interesting. To have paranormal ability to see those things is downright amazing. I've been watching a lot of those boxes that they use to talk to spirits with, spirit boxes. That's pretty interesting. I wouldn't mind actually seeing one of those live, like overnight at a cemetery or a battlefield. Now that's very interesting, Brian, figuring out how to capture the other realm. I do know there's a parallel universe, and I do know there's portals, but no one seems to figure out. Yeah, I believe they actually work too. I've seen some pretty unusual things happen. I tuned in live one time and actually had she had something come across asking for me by name, my real name, and YouTubers don't know that. Very few know my real name out there. And that really caught me off guard because I didn't know this lady. It was one of the first times I was on her channel. And that grabbed me by the boo boo. Interesting. I have a bike to listen into the woods. I have a thermal heat detection, which shows cold or hot. I don't have a lot of fancy gear. I never really got into the cameras. By the time I'd fiddle and get one out, what I'm looking at is already going to be gone. And YouTube's got enough videos of people stomping around in the woods. I've got a lot of cast prints that I've taken down here. I've got some pictures of rock formations that are built by the creatures and different things they've done. I actually got to see some pictures of ghosts in the woods that a lady captured down here. That was really interesting. I've never actually seen anything that close before that came out that well. It was actually at Perryville Battlefields. Interesting place. You might want to look that up. It was a slaughterhouse down there in Perryville, Kentucky. And she was down there spending a whole evening, and about 3:30 in the morning got some pretty good footage. Yeah, yeah, there's something out there. I do believe there's ghosts. I've seen a couple strange things. I mean, I saw that lady once in my house. My dog started barking, and I woke up, and there was a woman standing in my hallway. As you would be looking at anybody you would pass on the street, and she turned around to walk away and just disappeared. And my wife even saw that, and all my dogs saw it and were barking at her. And ever since that night, that really got me. So there is something strange happening out there. I never believed in ghosts until I actually seen one. I was the same way with Sasquatch too. Now I wouldn't be ghost, would it? That would be demons. Wouldn't that be demons that would be holding the covers and stuff down? I'm just, like I said, I'm just now starting to get into all that ghost stuff. And there's some ladies out there on YouTube. One that I like is Frances Spirits and House of Kittens, I think it is. You can look her up. She goes live a lot. Very interesting. She does the spirit boxes, and she can also tell you how to, cleanse your house or and cleanse yourself so spirits can't cling to you. That's supposed to be a big problem. Once they cling to you, others can start clinging to you, and it's actually quite frightening if you listen to her talk. But I like her channel. I'm going to come by and check the rest of your videos out. I bet you've got 3 or 4 out there I haven't seen yet. I will come by and check your videos, Brian, and leave you a message. That's pretty neat. But I think those you need to try to get rid of. Figure out a way to cleanse your home. I know it's got to do with prayer and sage and something about using some type of, I call them stones. What do you call those? Crystals and things like that. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about the ghost hunting and the demons and all that stuff. I listen to what Frances says, and you'll meet 7, 8 different paranormal researchers in her group that are very interesting, and they can help you a lot. You should go in there. It's Frances Spirits and House of Kittens is what I think it is. Look her up on YouTube. I go in there quite a bit, and once they get to know you and start talking with you, and you can ask questions, and they do lives. It's a very, very interesting channel. I think you'd really enjoy it, and your stories would be awesome. They'd like to hear what's happening to you. Yeah, I can see where church would help you, Brian. Keep doing that. It's Frances Spirits and House of Kittens, I think it's called. She's got a whole bunch of cats. And that'll get you started to where some really good paranormal investigators hang out. And there's a bunch of them that come through there. Have you ever seen the G Team? Patty? Yeah, Frances Spirits and House of Kittens. The G Team's pretty good too. Patty does some pretty good work with the boxes, and you can mention that. I know some of them, they actually do travel around and try to help people with their problems. I can't speak for them, Brian, and like I said, I don't know a whole lot about that stuff. I'm a Bigfoot researcher. I've spent my whole life chasing a hairy man in the woods. And other than the orbs, I never really saw a whole lot until I saw a couple ghosts here in the last handful of years. But I would definitely talk to Frances, and she will talk to you. I will make sure I come by and I will check out the mark. I want to see your videos. There's some interesting things happen there. And like I said, you can always, if you can get a hold of Patty and the G Team, she'd be pretty good to help you out. But she's got such a large fan base now, it's hard to talk to her. You might have to send her an email. Yeah, I would do that. Now, Patty travels all over the country. She was just up in Tennessee not too long ago, visiting some cemeteries, and she goes to a lot of haunted, abandoned towns and things like that. I mean, she's a very interesting person if you can get up and talk to her. Now up here by me, you got Pinky. They do paranormal investigations. I haven't really talked to those girls in a while. I actually met them a handful of months back at a convention. They've been at it for like 3, 4 years now. I'm not sure if they're on YouTube. I've never really looked them up, but they're based out of Lexington, Kentucky. Pinky Paranormal Investigation. But you'll probably luck out, and when you talk to Francis, some of the folks that come through there, you might get somebody down closer to you that would be willing to come check out your situation. There's a whole bunch of good ones out there that I know are legit and actually got the equipment to go do this. And Frances knows her stuff. She's probably, I'm going to guess and say, close to 60 years old. I'm guessing. She'll probably kick my butt. She probably ain't that old. Don't tell her I said that. She'll probably watch this and get it anyway. Sorry, Frances. But she's very up on what's going on in the paranormal world. And if she can't help you, she's got a lot of friends that can. But I don't know a whole lot about paranormal investigation in the world other than what I've learned from YouTube and friends that do it around here. I've thought about buying just for kicks and I guess laughs, one of the talk boxes, spirit boxes. But after listening to what these people say, how they can cling on to you and things like that, I've been kind of standoffish about getting one. We got Ghost Finding TV with us right now. Brian Knight was asking questions about paranormal investigations and spirits, and I can't answer those. I've always been a Bigfoot researcher. Maybe you can help him out there, Ghost Findings. Well, that's what they're saying. You got to know what you're doing and know how to guard yourself against the spirits if you get one of them ghost boxes. And I don't know nothing about that. I mean, honestly, I watch these guys do it on YouTube, and Pinky and them do it down here in Lexington. I've not had the time to actually go with them. I was invited to go when I get a chance, and I'd like to go with them to a house that's supposed to be haunted when they do their investigation and actually see what they do. And in return, they're going to go out in the field with us and see what it's like to track a Sasquatch. So I'd like to get that. But I've been working so much this year, I ain't had time to do anything. But there's a lot of great people out there that can help you out. Ghost Findings there, I bet you they can answer all your questions, Brian. Ghost Finders or Ghost Findings, if you could check out Brian Knight's channel to what he apparently caught in his bedroom with demons and ghosts that visit him. And I tell you what, it's way out of my league what he's talking about. I don't know enough about that. That's going to be solely up to the ghost hunters to help you with that one, Brian. It's interesting stuff, but if you had a Sasquatch around, I could help you with that. I can't help you with the ghost. I've seen orbs and I've seen 2 ghosts. up close before, and that there, I've never seen anything like what I saw. Like I told you, that was it for me. I do not have a mirror in my garage. Brian, you have a mirror in your garage? So your bedroom is what's getting the activity from demons, and in your garage, you're getting, I guess, angels and good spirits. Yeah, ghost findings. He was just talking about how he was in bed and the covers went tight on him and they were holding him down, and he's seeing faces that possibly he says could be the devil himself looking at him. So apparently, you letting spirits into your house probably opened the portal that you was talking about that allowed the evil spirits to come in. And like I told you before, on talking to other paranormal investigators, even on YouTube, talk about how if you don't cleanse yourself and use the right type of prayers and crystals, they can cling on to you. And I guess that opens up to where many can come. And maybe that's the problem you're having, Brian. They're clinging to you. You know, like I said, I've seen many, many, many orbs, but they've always been in the woods. And it's usually when we're out Sasquatching, and we got our listening devices out, and we're watching different regions where we know there's activity. I've seen orbs many times in the woods, and I've always related them to the Sasquatch. Now, I can't tell you and be precise, what's happening to you with paranormal. That's all over my head. I don't know. I know enough to get me in trouble, and that's it. But like I said, I would check here with ghost findings. I, I told you about Francis, and there's a bunch more that come through these channels, especially on lives. You're going to get many, many researchers that could help you with your problem. There you go. Ghost findings can help you out, Brian. Ghost findings, do you have your email address up on your channel? Well, I'll tell you, I salute you guys that go out and do that. I thought what I did was rough until I actually seen you guys go into these cemeteries and the things that you uncover and what happens to you, and the scratches and the things that these nothing, the ghosts do to you. I mean, that's downright amazing. You see, I've heard you talk about it over the last handful of months, but I never realized how bad it was until tonight. And thank you, Ghost Findings. It's always a joy to talk to you, and I'm glad you could sit here with me tonight. Like I said, it's a very peaceful evening. You can hear the crickets and the bugs and the full moon out. You know, Brian, if you could leave him your email address, Ghost Findings your email, to where you can actually talk to one another. Yeah, I kind of wish I could have made it down to Cumberland Falls this evening to see the moonbow. If you guys have never seen that, it's a rainbow that comes across Cumberland Falls only during a full moon on clear nights. It's absolutely beautiful. Brian, do you have any more questions or anything you want to ask Ghost Finding? Okay. I myself will go watch your new videos, Brian. I'm kind of anxious to see what's happening myself. Like I said to you, I know you probably got 3 or 4 out there that I haven't seen yet. Oh no, I'm going to be sitting out here quite a while, Brian. I have no problem sitting here talking with you. Usually I come in from work real late at night like this, and I really don't feel like sitting outside. I go in and hit the shower, and I'm about ready to crash. 12-hour shifts get you. You got me interested. I want to come check them out, Brian, and see what you got going on. You know, one of the things I find remarkable is how these spirit boxes can actually, I mean, it's almost like the spirits know what's being said on these telephones when you type them or on your computer. I work actually in a steel mill, a big steel plant, and 10-hour shifts is what we normally run, 5 of them, and they usually turn into 12s or sometimes a little bit longer. I think you're right on the other realm. I think it's all Earth based, maybe, just in kind of like string theory, parallel universes. So, the other realm, other dimension, yeah, I understand that. It's kind of like here. One of the funny things is like when you're tracking. Many a times I've tracked prints through the forest, and all of a sudden they just stop, and that's it. So I've actually had them stop in areas that you really couldn't tell if it kept going, and I've also had them stop in areas where there's no way this thing backstepped and got out of there. It just had to disappear, like it went into another realm. When you look at these prints, if you was to backstep in your own print, the toe is going to be as deep as the heel. I mean, it's pretty obvious what you're looking at. So they didn't do this. So is there something, I mean, a type of teleportation to where these ghosts are coming through? Is there a portal, a door? I believe there's something out there. I really do. I've thought that for years now. And probably up into the last 3, 4 years, I've never seen anything in the sky like a UFO. Um, I have seen ghosts. I've seen two really close, but I've seen a lot of strange things happen. Places I've lived, places I've been. But I never really was a believer up until a few years ago on the ghost world. So it absolutely amazes me what these people do that usually start off with actually seeing something and they go out there and start investigating it. And no, I don't think I'll ever uh, research ghost. I'm up in years. I have a hard enough time stomping around out in the forest and chasing after hairy creatures, which I already know exist. I've actually seen one up close. I've got all kinds of recordings. I've got all kinds of cast prints. I'm packing up my house to move to West Virginia. So, I mean, a lot of stuff's in boxes. When I finally make my move and put my office back together, there'll be a lot of interesting things I'll be bringing out and I'll show YouTube. See, I lost you. There we go. Spirits and demons because of who you are, Brian? I find that very interesting. I've heard other people say that they've been clinged on to. Yeah, he feels that he's being attacked by the demons because of who he is. I think he had to go for a minute, and he said he'd be right back. Yeah, you only research the positive energy, but I think you got the evil side clinging on to you. And now you got them in your house, and they're the ones that are causing you all your trouble. Do you go to any measures at all to try to cleanse yourself and cleanse your house of the evil spirits? And I was actually told that you actually tell them out loud that they can't cling on to you after each session after you do that. And I guess it's sage that you burn, and you say your prayers. And yeah, did you see what's this say there? Good protection, Brian. Definitely talk to these people and maybe get some advice on how to deal with it. Maybe someone would actually come down and help you out. It's over my head there, bro. I wish I could help you. Wrong field. My major was zoology and anthropology. So, okay, we got one still with us here. Brian Knight, is that you still with me? Well, it's a very peaceful night down here in Kentucky. I actually get to sit outside and enjoy this weather. It's been pretty cold at night the last 3 or 4 nights. Well, Ghost Findings, thank you so much for joining in tonight and offering to help Brian out. And guys, with that, I'll probably go ahead and close this chat out too and go back over it so I can actually catch all of the comments that were made. And I hope to see you all real soon. Thank you all so much for coming by. Tara Rock, hello. It's great having you here with us this evening, Tara. Playmaster Gamer, how are you? Oh, at Lester. I've had Lester ever since I was a little kid. He's my favorite of all the ventriloquist dolls. I've got 3, and he was my absolute favorite growing up. He is. He can be. I can get him to say some pretty funny things sometimes, and hopefully he'll come out more and greet everybody and start talking to people. If I can find the time to play with him. But yeah, Lester's always been a hoot to be around. He actually sit in a box in my man cave for a lot of years. I will do that. I will make sure Lester gets out there more. I've actually got him, and I've got Howdy, and I've got Charlie McCarthy that I've had for many years, the originals. And then there's a couple other type of puppets that are buried away back in there that are actually, one's a bear, and one of them is a talking dog. But I'm packing my house to move. We're going to be moving here soon, and everything's put back in boxes, and they're kind of hard to find and get to. Well, I'm glad you enjoy them. I really am. That's what it's all about, to make somebody laugh. And I use it to blow steam and just hang out. And to me, YouTube is just a fun place to meet people. But I will make sure Lester comes out more. I've met a lot of great folks on YouTube, and for probably a few years before I actually came out and started talking to folks, I would just come on and research how to fix something. And I mean, YouTube's a wonderful channel. I doubt I ever do anything with it other than what I'm doing right now, and I don't care to make money off of it. It's just a place I come and hang out and go into live chats and talk to interesting people. Tara, do you go live? You know, like tonight, I came outside to sit and look at the moon. It's peaceful. And I don't normally get to do this often, the way I work and getting off at 3 in the morning, and I got an hour drive home. So I'm usually tired by the time I get here. So it's always a joy to come out and get to talk to everybody. And Brian, like I said, I haven't got to visit you in a while. So I will definitely come through. I'll probably go in a little bit tonight and poke around and see what your new videos are. You got me kind of anxious to see what's actually bothering you. I'm sure I will, Brian. I sure I will. So I will definitely drop in there in the next few minutes and check you out. So you have a wonderful evening, Brian. I'm gonna get off here and I'm gonna go in and watch a couple of your videos, and I'll leave you some comments, and hopefully I'll talk to you a little later. Find out if you've actually got some help by some of these paranormal investigators. You know, Tara, I heard some storms roll through here today. Uh, More down in northern Kentucky was getting hit pretty hard. We didn't get anything, just some wind. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. Have a beautiful Sunday, and I hope to talk to you all real soon. See ya.